Okay, let's get this started. Um, Hello. Let me turn down the desktop audio a little bit. That's a lot. Okay. So, for the few watching, welcome. Good morning. This is the first time I'm doing this on my Steam account. I tend to stream this on my PlayStation account. But because we've had good times doing this for other games, we've decided that every now and then, and by every now and then, right now we mean once a week, and that will be Friday. I will do a breakfast Spelunky show. Probably it'll go 60 minutes. Likely it'll go more. We'll try to keep it to 60 minutes. It'll kind of depend on how long I survive in Spelunky. My average runs when I actually beat the game are 30 minutes. My percentage win rate is probably 10%. So I'd say my average run is around 15 minutes. That's my guess. Why are we doing this? Just for fun. Probably if I want to fill in the hour, I guess I'll play Noita or something else. Or if anyone else has any other suggestions, I'll gladly try another game. I'll just use it as an opportunity to get to know other games or play stuff in preparation for the show, which is what we have been doing up to now. It's 10 a.m. here in California. The internet occasionally dies because of wildfires. If that happens, you'll know. Also, if anyone in the chat is around, I think I do see 4 people here. If the audio is off, please let me know. I'll try to make sure to keep that going. What else? So today it's just me. Zach might jump in. Scheduling for the 4 of us is almost impossible. Like, the fact that we even get a show together is a miracle. Kevin Thompson sounds good now. Awesome. I'm gonna turn up the game audio later a little bit. If the mix is off, just shout out and I'll try to fix it. So yeah, today it's just me. Maybe Zach at 11 if we're still doing something at 11. So in an hour from now. Hopefully in the future, Nick will be able to make it more often. Doug lives in Melbourne, and then scheduling that would require that we do this at night in California. And for me, it's become a morning ritual. So just to give some context, I've been playing Spelunky pretty religiously since 2012. And I think I beat the game with Olmec, which is the 16th level, a year later. And then a year after that, in 2014, I beat Hell for the first time. And I thought I'd quit playing then. And instead, I stopped playing for about 3 months. And then I just realized that I'm missing something in my life. And so I went back to playing it. I wouldn't say daily, but probably like 3 to 5 times a week. And in the meantime, I've probably beaten the game on Hell, which is the 20th level. I've probably beaten that like 80 to 100 times. But, and it is breakfast time. But unlike other people who stream this game, I'm not a speedrunner. So I'm not a professional gamer. Well, that's hard to describe. I am a professor of computer science and cinematic arts at University of Southern California, where I do teach game design a lot, and graphics and AI and a bunch of other computer science topics. I made a game together with a bunch of friends about a decade ago called Osmos that got a lot of popularity back in the day, and I have made it my focus to play games, talk about games, think about games in the context of technology. So that's where I come from. But enough about me. Let's move on to the game. So I'm going to do this thing again where I'm going to put my head away so you don't have to watch my stupid face the whole time. And I'm going to turn up the game audio a little bit. So let's see what happens. I think this should be fine. Again, if the mix is totally off, I'll adjust that in the game. So again, I'm assuming that the people who watch this later or in here now have seen this game before. If you haven't, it is a procedurally generated platformer. I dare call it a platformer because it doesn't feel like a platformer. It's a platforming roguelike. Hey, ShadowDX. And it has large chunks of the levels that are made by the designers Derek Yu and Andy Hull. But it does this thing where it assembles large chunks later into tiles. And so every run is different. And that's usually almost as bad as saying Java runs everywhere. Because normally that rarely happens, right? Normally we always get to this point where things feel a little bit the same and they get boring over time. And for some people that happens with Spelunky. It, to this day, really hasn't happened with me. In fact, it's so bad that when we got to play the new game, Spelunky 2, in the demo forum, I almost felt like I want to play Spelunky again, even though I'm very excited for Spelunky 2, obviously. But it's just, there's something about this game that just really does it for me. And as such, it's usually hard to say what's your favorite movie, what's your favorite game, what's your favorite album, all that stuff. For me, it's without a doubt Spelunky. Like, it used to be top 10, then I'd like vaguely put it in top 5, and at this point, it's definitely my favorite game of all time. So I play a thing called the Daily Challenge. It basically uses a random seed, but that random seed is the same for everyone, so we're all going to get the same seed. And I only get to play it once. And I only will play it once. So I say this now and watch me play 5 deaths in one stream. I haven't played more. I don't think I've played. So there's the other mode here, adventure mode. I don't think I've played that in 3 or 4 years, because I just click the daily challenge, I play it, and then I put the game away. And that's how that works for me. And that's in fact how I even got into the game in the first place, because it turns out my attention span is less than a fruit fly. Like, I can't stick with a thing more than 15 to 60 minutes before I get blatantly bored, unless I'm interacting with other people, which is why you may see in the background around other side here you see a fraction of my stupidly large board game collection. I think everyone who has a stupidly large board game collection has like on the order of hundreds or even more. So I think I'm in good company with a lot of people, because I do like playing games with humans. This one is not that, but the stream is kind of that. Also, while once a year in my game prototyping class, I demo the game to the students, and I externalize my thought process, because I do play this more like chess than I do like a speed run. It turns into mayhem when I try to do that, because it turns out it's extremely difficult to externalize thought as you're playing, and that's why whenever I watch someone on a stream, like a very good Twitch streamer, who's good at playing an action game and talking about what they're doing at the same time, I'm always in total awe, because I know just how extremely difficult that is. So I think that's enough for context for today. So let's jump right in. So the first, this is so funny. The Steam version, I haven't played the Steam version in forever, but my little ninja dude is pre-selected, which the PSN version, for some reason, I guess it was too hard to program. Like, I have to literally swipe through the entire selection list to get to my character every time. Not that there's anything specific to the character other than I like the character. It's part of the ritual. Okay. So again, I'm going to assume that some people who watch this may have never seen this game before, right? So I'm in Mines 1-1, which sometimes on the show we carelessly call caves, because we're very bad at this. And you can pick stuff up. There's a thing over there that you'll see right above my head, which is the most deadly thing in the caves, I think, which is the arrow trap, but it doesn't trigger from this distance. Also, I'm going to try to collect some money and not get killed at the same time, because money, up to some point in this game, does sort of kind of matter. Something that took me forever to realize as a player is that you can actually walk into spikes, you just can't walk onto them. Like, if you fall into them, you die, which is really annoying. Most of the enemies in the game, I'd say, honestly, are pretty benign. It's just that, A, some of them walk in irrational patterns, and B, and there's the first arrow trap. Okay, cool. So you'll know one thing now. So the arrow trap that I just triggered hit me, and he'll kill me for 2 points. So I have 4 health in the upper left corner. Still collecting money. How do I get health back is a good question, because every now and then you'll find a thing down there, which is the damsel, which on my PSN account, I have set to be pugs all the time, which I will do here in a second. So that gives me a heart back when I end the level. And there's really not a whole lot left to do here, so I'll just get out. And also when I go to the settings in a second, I'll switch that back up. Okay, so that's 1-1. And in this style, I'm going to attempt to go through 20 levels. Right? It's a roguelike in the sense that it has permadeath. The other thing that's going to be really weird to me explain now is that I never try to beat the game the normal way. Trying to focus here a little bit to not lose more life. This is annoying. Well, I guess we're going to have to do that. That was a waste of a bomb. Let's do this. I have 4 bombs in the beginning and 4 ropes. What am I doing here? I'm picking up a golden key that opens up a very specific treasure box in the same level, which happens to be right here, which gives me the Udget Eye, which is a thing that allows me to find a thing called the Black Market once we reach the second biome, which is the jungle, which starts at after 4 levels. And again, I'm just doing my bestest here to not get hit. So honestly, of all the things that you have to do while you're in the caves, that's probably the most important one. I also have an interest in killing this giant spider. Not so much because I'm worried that it's going to kill me, although I should be worried about that, but because it drops a thing that I'm going to probably wrongly call glue. It basically gives you sticky bombs. And there are entire runs that I've totally messed up because I didn't have sticky bombs. It turns out to be a thing that I really need for a successful run. Maybe even more so than the jetpack, which is arguably the best item in the game. Okay, and down there's a shop. And the shopkeeper doesn't have a whole lot. So 1-2 always has a shop. It's pretty crucial for speedrunners what that shop contains. For me, it's good if it contains cool stuff. But I'm not going to sweat over it because I got a lot of money. I'm just going to get the stuff that I like. Now, I'm going to get the bombs. Bombs are always good. I can't have enough bombs. And I'm going to get the spiky boots. Because the spiky boots do a bunch of things. First of all, they let you damage things when you stomp on them, which you don't do by default. Well, you do. You saw that I just killed spiders and stuff. But there are other enemies that don't really take damage if you don't have the spiky boots. And secondarily, and not as important, you do slip around in the ice caves, which is the 3rd biome. Okay. Okay. What am I doing? Well, another thing here is the leaderboard's currently, the entirety of this game is basically keyed off the fact that, what am I doing? Oh, that's a snake pit. Is that keyed off the fact that the leaderboards are queued on money. I don't care about money, right? I'm just trying to beat the game. That was a parachute, one of the lesser items in the game. Although it's probably saved me more than once and I'm just not very appreciative. This is a snake pit. This is like a little designed piece of geometry. It does have procedural elements in that it can be different heights. But it has one very good aspect to it. Well, at least one. Which is that there is always going to be a mattock at the bottom. And a mattock is a great item because it allows you up to 99 hits. Oh god, I hate the order of priority, right? Where you can like remove up to 99 blocks. So now it's pre-Minecraft. Minecraft is not necessarily true, but this game, at least in its precursor, probably existed around the same time. As did a million other dating games. I don't even know why I'm saying this. Right, but it's a solid item because now I don't have to waste my bombs to like get through places. and I'm not going to do any more here anyway. I can do little dumb stuff like, let's get some gold, right? But like, I'm not trying to get gold. I'm just trying to get through. Oh, hey, Ix. Good to have you here. Okay. Let's be a little bit careful. Okay, so this is again... Oh, God. That was absolutely terrible. Now I have to be extremely careful because I did just trigger... the giant spider, and I only have 2 health left. So I don't know if what I'm doing here is particularly smart, but God. So you can get random dark levels. There's a nice speedrunner feature where I think if you beat the level under 30 seconds, the previous one, then there are no dark levels. This is of course not the case for Slowpoke Nealon. So now I think I just gotta get the hell out of here without getting hit by another dart, because I'm already at 2 health. This is not good. And the big spider is after me. And I forgot to take... Oof, this is not good. This is very much not good. Okay, that was mildly lucky. Okay, this is not the exit. So... Oh, god damn it. I'm just holding on right now. I want to get the hell out of here without... And so there are a lot of audio cues that even if you don't... Yeah, I think I'm going to make this. Okay, there's another bat. Oof. Any run is a speed run if you know the right team. Oh, Ix, you're funny. Ix, you should write for us. You just write some jokes. We can just like throw them into the show on occasion. Okay, so now I'm in the second biome, right? So I'm in level 5, which is 2-1. And what I'm doing, my main goal in this biome is to find the black market. So I'm gonna make a pretty major effort to comb the area, because if I get close enough to the black market, that Udget eye that's up to the left of the $41,100 or whatever bucks they have here, is gonna light up. The most dangerous enemy or item in the jungle, in my opinion, is the thing I'm standing on right now, which is the Tiki Trap, which triggers... Oh man, I want that crate, but I don't want to get killed by those... Is this worth a bomb? It's not worth it. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep going. I know that I could use the whip. Guess what? I'm the worst player with the whip of all times. Like, if Zach was here right now... Hey, Hacksaw Unit. If Zach was here right now, he'd laugh at me, right? Because he'd be like, why don't you just whip them? And I'd be like, my whip timing is terrible. ShadowDX64, does the daily obey the rules for avoiding dark levels? I think it does, but I'm going to say that given that a much more competent speedrunner is with us right now, maybe it has a better take. But I would strongly assume that they obey those rules for the daily. I can't confirm it or deny it though. Okay, so this is looking good. Let's get that, let's get that, let's get the gloves. Some people don't like the climbing gloves. Okay, so I'm gonna have to man, I can't believe Ix says can't avoid dark levels on daily, unfortunately. Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that. So there you go, ShadowDX. It does not obey the rules for avoiding dark levels. I did not know this. Those traps there, the man trap, are also horrendous. They're way worse in dark levels. I'm gonna have to bomb my way over here, unfortunately. I hate that I dropped the Matic in the dark level because I was not cautious enough. Because under no circumstances do I want to miss the black market, and it could be in 2-1. It's not like it couldn't be here. but it's starting to look less likely. And for someone who's played the game as much as I have, I'm stupidly ignorant about things like what's the exact distance of the Udget eye picking up the black market? Like, how many blocks is it? I always assumed it's like exactly the radius of a full tile, but I really don't know it. Ick says, I didn't know that until pretty recently. Usually going very slowly to get dollars. Right. Yeah. It's people discover stuff about this game all the time. I tend to play games very loosely and aloof because my job requires a lot of careful research. And sometimes believe it or not, the thing is that a lot of game designers can't do that, right? They're famously incapable of playing a game for pleasure. Sometimes I make weird hypotheses about things that are probably not true and are knowable. And I get called out on that by my friends all the time. It's not my job, right? Sometimes there's a certain depth that I'll go to. I mean, I like games like chess and Teamfight Tactics. For those of you who have watched me play Teamfight Tactics, but yeah, Hacksaw Unit says playing it freestyle, pretty much, but also slightly dumb. Like where I'm like, I could know this. This is noble information. Like if a PhD student comes to me and says like, I don't know, I'm like, but you could know. And I was like, I'm like, well, if you're trying to get a PhD, maybe that's not the best attitude. But when you're playing a game, come on, right? Ick says, I also have no idea how long a jet works. Yeah, right. So Ick says like things like that just work by feel. Same here, right? I do a lot of stuff by feel, which is just like a nice high-level heuristic. Again, when I play Magic the Gathering, I do that too, and because of that, I'm not very good, right? Like if I wanted to play the Pro Tour, I'd have to get a lot better at that. I used to play a lot of Netrunner. I was fine, but not amazing. I did a lot of math problems. I'm a freaking math professor, right? But I didn't care to do the math. Yeah. ShadowDX says, Derek's designed by feel philosophy. Yeah, pretty much, right? Because anytime you try to eke out design theory out of Derek, he'll be like, I just tried a thing and it worked. And probably if I tried a thing, he means 10 things. Okay. So let's see if I can... Again, probably not worth a bomb. Oh, I hate these bubbles. You know what? I'm not gonna... I got enough bombs. A very common way for me to die in this game is to have bombs galore and then constantly be stingy with using them. I mean, that's like a video game classic, right? To be like, you're holding out for the big boss in Doom or something. When in doubt, bomb it out. Yep, hacks. If you can't cope, use a rope. Man, you guys are... Okay, this is where I'm once again realizing that while it doesn't sound that way, English is not my first language. I wish I had the ability to be that punny. And I'm, maybe it'll come over time. But no, I was... Whoop, oh, that was close. I was born in the US, raised in Germany. Oh, there we go. Click, click, click. Hacksaw says, is a curse. I'm haunted by puns. My former colleague and still friend, Julian Togelius, who's Swedish, has a curse that he can pun in every language that he even remotely knows. I think he likes it. But he does call it a curse every now and then. Oh god, I dropped the damsel. Oh, I want to change that. Let's do that right now. So in options, I can go to settings, damsel style. Let's go to that. I don't know if it will actually affect the game I am playing. Wait, where's the... Now I just got sidetracked. Where did the black market go to? Okay, it's over here. Yeah, so the red frogs are bomb frogs. Oh, there we go. So sometimes you can see little pieces of geometry stick out, like that, like those leaves. Just in case you missed the Udget Eye, there are chances that you can like still find the black market. I'll explain why I need to leave in the black market in a second. Yeah, let's just go in there for now. Okay, 2-2 completed. So now I'm going to go into this this side level that I love. The first image that I'm in, right? The first image I'm in is a bunch of bomb boxes. So I'm probably never going to run out of bombs here if I survive this. So the black market, the reason I need to be in the black market, I also usually like it if I can find, yeah, oh yeah, Robin. So Hacksaw says, Robin? Yeah, I never pay for stuff here. This is the part where if I haven't already bummed out the shopkeeper, I will bum out the shopkeeper. But I also first clear this. Magic News, new format called... Oh yeah, Ix is saying, I will gladly get to this later, Ix. Magic News, there's a new format called Pioneer that allows cards from 2012 to be used instead of just the last year. So that is born out of a thing called Frontier that I think was invented by the Japanese Magic the Gathering community that was started with Khans of Tarkir from 2014, and now they just moved it back to 2012. And I started brewing yesterday on Magic the Gathering Online, or as we all still call it every now and then, Modo. And it's fun. It's fun. So I have 9 bombs left. That'll probably be enough. So I'm going to start annoying these shopkeepers. They're going to run down to the lower level, and I can clear out the top level. This is I literally think that I saw Zach Gage do that strategy once, like where you like work yourself from top to bottom. Uh-oh. So now I have to... A very common mistake is to be careless here and, like, get grabbed by the shopkeeper. Oh, I didn't clear it out. Didn't clear it out. Let's do that. Because I have way more than enough bombs. Like, if I get destroyed here, it's my own fault. Okay, so I just picked up the Ankh, and that's the reason I need the black market. Because without the Ankh, the critical path to the end game being Hell is blocked off. Right? Unlike the Udget Eye, which is sort of kind of optional, but also sort of kind of not. Let me see what's going on here. Is there anything good down there? Nah, this is not worth it. So what I usually do then is I just bomb my way down here. So I'd only care about the lower level in the black market here if there was anything good there. So this is... I'm being so cautious here right now. Okay, so the Udget Eye... So, sorry, not the Udget Eye. The Ankh will revive me if I die, but the only level I want that to happen is in the level with the Moai head on the ice caves, because that's how I teleport into that head, which puts me back on the path to Hell. Hedget Pit, right? Exactly. Ix, I played as a kid in the late 90s, but got sucked again in 2015. So the deck rotated out. Plan to go on MTGO tomorrow. Cards are still there. I think I'm kneeling on MTGO if you want to add me, Ix. Hacksaw Unit says close frog dodge. Bomb cascading. Yep, that's what I just did. I'm bad at bomb cascading, where you just like trigger a bunch and then they go through. It's almost like bomb jumping in Metroid, where you like plant a bunch of bombs and then try to catapult yourself up. Although that requires way better timing. Ix says, well, not sure you've seen you cascade bombs before. Yeah, sometimes I cascade bombs. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Hacksaw was asking. Yeah, it's just you plant a bunch of bombs and then, but in different timings. And so they will fall down and trigger. It works really well if you want to kill an enemy right under a piece of geometry, because you just plant a bomb and then another bomb, and then the first one will remove the geometry and then it'll just fall straight down. Those are advanced techniques that I have only seen recently when I watched people speedrun. But yeah, you can kill yourself that way. I have killed myself that way a lot of times. Okay. Yeah, I started Magic in 2014 for the first time in my life, which is also the same year I discovered Led Zeppelin. It's so weird. People came to my house and were like, wait, are you 16? You're playing Magic and listening to Zeppelin? Yeah, I started with cons, and I love my good friend and collaborator Eddie tried to get me into Magic in 2011, and I just wasn't having it. Right? It was like one of those moments where I was like, this game is just stupidly random. How is there any skill? But, you know, you get... Oh, my favorite item. Okay. So the annoying music is playing, which basically just means that I have to go into this piranha pit. I got it. Wow. That's pretty sweet. So I'm going to do another thing here, which is sacrifice the quote-unquote damsel on the altar, because if I sacrifice 2 or a bunch of other characters like this dude, then at some point I'll get the Cup of Kali, which allows me to collect blood and gain health. The thing with the jetpack is that its charge, it recharges whenever you hit the ground. It's a pretty common jetpack mechanic. Like if I just hit the jetpack like this, it'll run out, but whenever I hit the ground again, it comes back. So yeah, Magic, it's funny, because I think before I finally admitted to the fact that I think that Spelunky is the best game ever made, there was a time when I was convinced that Magic's the best game ever made. I still think it's amazing. Huh, I like it. So this is a nice aftermath scene where you know that the Tiki Trap triggered the shopkeep, and he's probably swimming around down there with the fishes because the music's still playing. But it doesn't matter because they don't attack him for some reason. He has, I guess all enemies are allies in this game. Zycros, hello. Hey, Zycros. Nice to have you. I guess the other thing I didn't really mention at all in the beginning is, for those of you who are just randomly tuning into this, this is actually a stream of a podcast. That's why we're doing this in the first place. So now I'm in the ice caves, right? So now what I'm doing is in 3-1, it's get to the exit. And there's a nice arrow pointing to the exit because if you look at my items in the upper left corner, you'll see that there is a compass. So I tend to kill a lot of these alien spaceships, and very often that bites me in the butt because they catapult around and hit those mines, and sometimes those mines will, call them rogue mines, will go off and just destroy me. Okay, this is pretty good. If I can make it work. Man, there are so many... This is a very generous run. Right? So if I die here, it's because... Oh man, they both fell down. That's unfortunate. If I die here, it's because I'm not paying attention. Oh, okay, so what I have to do here is, again, I'm going to make this so unnecessary what I'm doing here right now. So I could just use a bomb, but because I'm Mr. Stingy Pants, I'm literally going to use a trip mine to free the damsel. Right, so now you saw I just got the cup. The cup is empty right now, but you'll see the cup fill up over time. I'm just going to trigger this dude so that he runs off into... Oh, whatever, he missed him. Okay, so 3-1 will never have the Moai head. I think there's the highest likelihood that it pops up in 3-2, but it can be in 3-3. I don't even know if it can ever be in 3-4. I don't remember it ever being in 3-4, and there it is. Right, Derek left a cute little hint. So this level I actually have to die in. And at this point, I'm super safe. So I'm not going to be able to take the shotgun with me. So the only goal I have here is to get the pug into the door. And the reason for that is that when I kill... I guess I could. When I kill myself, I'll get teleported to the head. A little thing called the head jet drops, which you can miss if you press RB too fast. And I do take the jetpack with me, unless I got crushed by something. So that's another thing, a big no-no. Right? There's a whole other thing called an eggplant run. Exactly. ShadowDX64 says, but don't get crushed. Yeah, trust me. I've learned all these things the hard way. Because, yeah, that just destroys your jetpack. And there's so many ways that runs can go wrong that are very much out of your control. So now I no longer have... Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? This is... Everything I'm doing here is unnecessary. I literally just want to get to the end here. There's nothing good. I mean, maybe there's good stuff in the level, but I kind of don't care. Well, let's put the money in there. And let's, I guess... Okay, again, another thing I can be doing is collecting blood. I'm not doing any of that right now. Skeletons don't bleed. So let's at least do that without getting crushed. Yeah, all of that is risky. Man, I am not doing a good job here. Ix says you have it mostly right. There's a weird mechanic if you go through the worm and mothership, and the Moai head will be on 3-4. Otherwise, it's on 3-2 or 3-3. Cool. Did not know that. Sweet. Yeah, I never go through the worm and mothership. Maybe I'll try that in one of the future Fridays just for fun. It's never been on my critical path. It probably would be fun to try that out and die a lot because I think those are notoriously difficult. I literally think I've never gone into the castle. I don't even know it's called the castle. Yes, so ShadowDX says that was dangerously close. So I very often get killed by Yetis by getting too close to them because they'll just juggle you, and if you're badly positioned, then that will just cause an infinite juggle, which I find comical. Oh god, I didn't know I was that far down. So that's another cool way of me accidentally killing myself. So I'll miss the Yeti by a pixel or two. And when that happens, it'll just start juggling me. Right? Okay, none of this is very useful. Worm is my favorite level to speedrun. Yeah. Yeah, because you know, one of these days I'll get into it. I'll try it. It looks super cool. It's just like I remember when we had this conversation in one of the first podcast episodes. I was like, I hope that Spelunky 2 provides more incentives to try different paths on different days. Where like the random generator is... Oh god! Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? I'm at 4 health. I didn't. I survived somehow. So the crush blocks here, as you see this thing there, are the bane. Yeah, it says "Woo alive." What a nightmare those things are. So now we have. So this is the temple, and now we have crush blocks, which are those things. We have crush blocks, and we have tiki traps. So obviously this is supposed to be a little bit harder, but also at this point you're likely better equipped. This still looks like a nightmare. So I'm going to be excessively cautious right now and just use the fact that I have an abundance of bombs. But I am looking for a very specific character on this level because that character has a staff. And that staff is required to unlock the path that I'm on. Oh, there he is. There he is. 2 bombs are enough. You saw how nice and easy it was to get to kill him using the sticky bombs. Actually, using 2 items: the sticky bombs and the glove, the throwing mitt. Because the throwing mitt allows my bombs to go straight, and the sticky bombs allow them to stick to the guy. Okay. I'm gonna use, again, have an abundance of bombs. Do not do stupid stuff here just because. So I wish I could take the shotgun here, but there's really no point. Also, I just need that staff. And I can only carry 1 item, right? So I want that staff because that staff will unlock the door to the City of Gold in the next level for sure. So in this level, my goal is to find the door to the City of Gold, and then also go into it. Because another fun thing that I tend to do when I'm narrating my experience is to do the dumbest possible mistakes and miss the actual exits that I should be going through. Let's see. Do I want to... Sure, why not? Let's see what's in that crate. Not worth it. A little lava here. I might just decide to bomb my way through instead. Yeah, let's do that. Lava is not really that dangerous. I'm making all of this look way more dangerous than it is in actuality. Oh man, really? Okay, that's fine. So let's go in here. Sometimes I kill the shopkeeper here to get the gun, get his shotgun, but the shotgun is probably, in my opinion, the most overrated item. It's very, very good, but also it provides players with a sense of security that is entirely unwarranted. Right? That's just a couple of extra bombs. Okay. So the problem in the City of Gold is that everything is gold colored. So it kind of masks the dangers, such as that stompy thing. Interesting. I kind of feel I have to do a nice little trick here, just to show it off. Come on. So he's gonna start spitting, and it turns out that zombie bile... Oh no, come on, dude. Turns out zombie bile actually fills the cup. Am I just missing it? Yeah, see? So I'm catching zombie bile, and the zombie bile is filling... I'm not gonna go to 99 because it's boring as hell. Zach figured this one out on his own at some point. I think, yeah. I don't remember ever doing it by hovering with the jetpack. I gotta be careful to not get hit by those death flies. They're obviously locusts. Or do stupid stuff like that. Let's just kill this guy to be on the safe side. Come on. Give me more of your... Why am I making this so hard on myself? Let's just do that. See? Sometimes those dumb locusts go off in angles that are really dangerous. Come on. Fill me up. This is such a funny coincidence. I don't even know if this was... Yeah, Ick says the flies can shoot out at very sharp angles. Yeah, I just noticed. Uh-oh. Also, a chill runs down your spine. What am I doing? Don't do that, dude. Okay, now... Okay. Ah! So now I want to make sure... This is... Okay, this is a little bit messed up. I'm making it this, again, unnecessarily hard on myself. Okay, there's the exit. Yeah, okay, this is fine. Okay. It's so funny that that just now made me forget that there's a time limit. So if you've never played the game before, after 2.5 minutes there's a ghost, and the ghost is designed to freak you out, but if you're good enough at the game, which turns out I guess I am most of the time, it's not gonna be overly pressuring. Okay, so this is level 16. This is normally the final level, but I'm going to hopefully push Olmec down into the... do this cautiously again. Okay, so now that thing I picked up in the City of Gold is called the Book of the Dead. It's up on the... You can see the icon next to the Udget Eye. And what it does is twofold. A, it will allow me to even go into the gates to hell. And B, it will show me where at the bottom of the level the hell gates are. It says cascade time for Olmec, same rhythm as the music, but don't recommend during this demo. Yeah, I was gonna not try it. That's a freeze gun. I find that gun is like the best against the enemy whose name I'm blanking on right now. This dude, because of course I'm a nerd enough to literally have every single figurine. I used to have them over a frame in the living room until I moved in with my wife. Okay, so now you can see that the Book of the Dead is going crazy. So now I am going to at least cascade 3 bombs here. So if you place the bombs right, which is right between 2 tiles, then it will bomb this corridor down that is exactly the width of Olmec. And it makes it a lot easier to just lure him into there. Okay. Come on. Come on. So I'm just gonna hang out over here. Whoa, that was a little bit too close. Right, so he's gonna fall down into here and open that door, and that is now how I make it into hell. So now I'm going on to the last 4 levels. It would be too good to be true if I actually didn't die here. So I'm gonna try oh. Okay, I guess the ice gun isn't that bad. Wait, no, I'm not taking that. Again, no interest in trying to risk my life here. Why am I going all the way over here? For the simple reason that there's an amulet there. And that amulet is straight up fantastic because it protects you from fire damage. Wayfarer, is this the daily or are you just doing a hell run? Nope, it's daily. It is the daily. So right, I want that thing. I sometimes go down Vlad's Tower, or whatever you want to call it. I call it Vlad's Tower. It never goes well. It always looks like I'm doing a smart thing. And it turns out I'm not. Let's see. How do I want to handle this? Again, I'm probably going to do this the ultra safety way. Which is just I could even, I think I, so the lava is not really, see I can, those dudes are my friend now. So I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna not even pretend that that might be an enemy. Sorry, Pug. Oh, wasted a bomb, wasted a bomb. Oh, come on. So I'm gonna do this thing now where I'm gonna try to, ah, shit. Just stick him, got it. Okay, 2 good things. He is dead, and I get his shotgun. Ick says the bottom of the tower is terrifying. It is. It's full of spikes and lava. Although, or no, it's just spikes. But yeah, I've died on the spikes so many times. And then I always try to use the push block to like kill the shopkeeper, and I've literally never hit once. And then he comes in through the gap and kills me. Okay. So this is looking, I keep on saying this is looking good. I have a lot of bombs, but not infinite. Wait a minute. Oh, I see what's happening here. I was like, why is there no path out? Oh, there is a path out. So I have 21 bombs. That's way more than enough to like not do these very unnecessary risks that I'm taking here right now. Yeah, okay, so this time I'm just gonna do this thing where I headbutt the dude and then go in. Very, very old school thing. It says, let's see if Andy takes his own advice. That shotgun gives a false sense of security. Yeah. It's still, you need either bombs or a shotgun, in my opinion, at least for the final level, right? To get rid of the dudes on the side. Okay, so I'm in level 19. I have 34 health. There's still a few things that could insta-kill me, but not a whole lot. Again, this is going to be, I'm going to be extremely careful here. Oh my god. And just, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do, but that's fine. I'm just going to be extremely careful here and just try to stick the shopkeeper. And I'm going to do it with like ultra precision. Okay, so now we come to the last level. That famously, I'll just tell this anecdote right here, although you'll probably hear me tell it a lot. Yeah, Chowdiek says, should have dropped the bombs there. There are a bunch of things I should have done there. So let me just clear out the bottom level first before I do anything else. Alright, those things look dangerous, but they're not really. Okay, so famously, this level is not hard. Right? If you know what you're doing and you have a lot of health, it's not hard. And it was by design. And yeah, I've heard Andy talk about this, I've had Derek talk about this. What I'm doing right there is getting rid of those tiki traps on the side. That's a trick I also recently saw some score or speedrunner do. I tend to get rid of all the spikes here because those are the things that can still insta-kill you. So if you can have as much health as you want, if you fall on spikes, you die, right? So I would literally lose everything right now. So I'm gonna get hit by that. Play it safe here. Throw a rope here so I'm still somewhat protected. And then I'm gonna throw a rope here, which puts me in a safe zone so that those falling heads don't do anything. Furthermore, I'm gonna do a thing here that I came up with on my own. I've seen other people do. I don't think I've seen him that close to me in a very long time. This is absolutely... This is a very fun run. And that, my friends, well, let's be cocky and go here and headbang on his head. Where does hands go to? Weird. Anyway, that, my friends, is Spelunky. So I could now say stuff like I made it look easy. I will just straight up say that beating Hell, if you've only beaten 100 times out of like 1,500 plays, beating Hell on the first time I've ever streamed it on my Steam account is exhilarating. Thanks everyone for the GGs. It's not as exhilarating as when it happens the first time, because I will be perfectly honest, one of the big reasons why I love this game so much is that the first time I beat Hell like this, I just left it at this screen, right? Journey is its own reward, mastery is the greatest treasure of them all. And then I cried because I was like, oh my god, I worked so hard for this. I can't believe it finally happened, right? And I also was like, oh shit, I guess I'm done now. What am I going to do next? GG, that jetpack in 2 or 3 was super helpful. Yeah, it was. This game is still great, right? This game is still absolutely fantastic. I would love to be able to commit to doing this kind of thing with other games on a much more dense basis, and I think news around those lines is going to be coming. It's going to be coming in early next year, but right now I'd say I'm going to try to stick to a very rigorous every Friday schedule for this. Every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, because actually I have a lot of friends in Europe who might tune into this in the future, and that way it works for them as well. I'd like to ramp up the density because I do enjoy this tremendously, but I'll see how I can get around with that. But honestly, for today, so first of all, I guess we do let the credits play. I am at 57 minutes right now, which is seemingly perfect. Yeah, as I say, you'll see right now in a second when this all plays out in the credits. You'll see that it says stuff like total time. I think I can actually skip through this. And usually my time's 30 minutes. I'm going to say it's a lot more right now. Also, I paused a bunch to say stuff. And man, I really need to put the coffee thermos closer. 36:03. Okay. It's usually around 30. Right now we get the whole credit sequence. Which of course is fantastic, and I love it. I might cut it short though, although maybe I'll just use it to say a couple more things or answer questions if there are any. Yeah, I still think that for the most part I'll always start with this, and maybe in the future as we go along I'll not be as verbose about all the stuff that I'm thinking about, and I'll play it a little bit more loose, because then I think I tend to die faster, because yeah, I'd like to get to other games. I'm playing too many things at the same time, which goes back to the thing I said earlier about how I have a very short attention span, which comes back to bite me every now and then, because sometimes I start stuff like Disco Elysium and I'd like to finish it, but I can't finish a 70-hour game. That said, I did finish Red Dead Redemption 2 in the spring, and a bunch of other stuff. So, and I think I'm halfway through The Witcher 3. So I do finish games every now and then. Those are not the kinds of games that we're going to be playing here on the stream, right? We're going to be playing games where I'm probably bad enough that I can play through them a couple of times. Like, for example, we all know that we are going to have someone from the Noita team on in the near future. So that's cool. We're probably going to play a lot more of that. I guess at this point I'll also just advert for the fact that we are going to record early this week. So we're recording on Sunday. The show probably still won't go up till Thursday. We're going to have Frank Lance on the show to talk probably mostly about Hey Robot, which is his get the Echo Dot or get Alexa or Google Home to say things without you saying the word, which is amazing. And it kind of like has like a little bit of a codename structure. We'll probably also get him to talk about Drop 7 and 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 Universal paper clips, right? And so definitely tune in for that on Thursday. But if you have questions for Frank, please post them on Twitter so that we can weave them into the show. Ix says, I still can't decide whether to jump in Noita or wait till it's fully released. Ix, I've played it about 2 or 3 hours at this point, and I think you're good. I think you're good to go, is what I'm saying. Like, it feels done. It feels done enough. Like, there may still be stuff that's coming, but I kind of think that you don't have to worry about it. It's robust. For a game that has that level of detail and physics simulation, it's surprisingly robust. Like, I can't even remember getting caught on a corner or getting into a, like, state where I'd have to kill myself, right? Like, I think I've mentioned in the show earlier, like, even though I liked Little Big Planet and the physics that those guys do, that the people at Media Molecule do is amazing, there was really a suicide button for your little character, right? 28th in the world. There's probably not a whole lot of people playing anymore. Anyway, this 28th in the world is also keyed on money, and I didn't really have a whole lot of money. Oh my god, I haven't looked at this in such a long time. Daily all-time average of top 10. So in my friends list on Steam, the number 1 is Kyle Pulver. That's a shocker. Yeah. Tyler, Noah. I'm shy behind Derek. 3,314 on top 10 dailies. Yeah, so if anyone's watching this live or later, my handle on Steam is WorldMute, as you can see in the bottom left here. I'll gladly accept friend invites if you want to share your scores, because I think, honestly, in the future, I'm going to be streaming. I don't think I'm going to do 2 dailies. So I used to do it on PSN all the time. I think it's just going to move over here. I set my Nealon Twitch account to auto-host this. I don't know if it's working, because I had like 5 people who would watch me over there, including a bunch of really good friends who actually got me into this whole streaming thing in the first place. So thank you. You know who I mean. But with that, I think we're gonna end it for today, because it's just a nice 60-minute chunk. As I say, in the future, I will buffer that hour if, for whatever reason, I die prematurely. Sometimes I die on 1-1 because I fall into spikes because I'm not paying attention. And then I will not restart the game. Ix says, thanks for the stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. Or me. Hopefully in the future, us. But in order for this to work, we had to start it somehow, and it had to be on a flex basis for the other 3. As I say, we've mentioned this multiple times before. There are news coming for the new year where I think we're going to ramp up both the podcast and the stream. Where we will separate those things in a way where the podcast will still be the Spelunky show and have episode numbers, and the stream will likely just be stream from November 1st, 2019. Right? So if there are no other questions, and I'm not seeing anything in the chat, I will upload this to YouTube instantaneously, paste the link on in our Twitter account, and I will remind you all, please, if you're watching this before Sunday, the November the 3rd, 2019, post your questions to Frank Lance on our Twitter account, because we'll be talking about all kinds of stuff. Frank's also a Michael Bro connoisseur, so he's very good at stuff like Syncopaus. I know that another fan of the show is better than him in Syncopaus. So I think it's at John Axon. I'd like to hear from you, especially if you have any questions with respect to that. We can do all kinds of stuff with Frank. Probably talk a lot about his new game that's on Kickstarter right now, but we can do all kinds of other stuff. Same thing, general questions, post them to Twitter. We try to get to all listener questions over time. Please let us know if there's any future games or guests you'd like to have on the show. And if you have any games that you'd like to see on this Friday morning Spelunky breakfast stream, after me dying in Spelunky or beating it like today, which again I feel pretty good about right now. GSV Ethics Graded, thanks for the show. Well, you're welcome. You're very welcome. As I say, I hope the dozen-ish people who watch this now spread the word. I still think that interacting with a small group of people live is easier than thousands. Obviously, it'd be great for us for have just for the sake of it being sustainable if there were more, but I think this works really well right now. That's the kind of number I'd like to see going forward. But again, we'd really appreciate it if you like it, if you spread the word. Kevin Thompson says that was fun. Only started playing Spelunky recently after listening to the podcast. I haven't made it out of the Mayans. Got some work to do. Yeah, Kevin, that's fine because it took me probably a few months just to make it out of the Mayans. It's hard. The game is very hard. And it's, don't feel bad if you're looking up people or watching people play it, watching streamers play it, just so you get a little bit of a feel for the different mechanics. Of course, you can try all that stuff yourself. I learned from other people a lot. I think that's totally fair game.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
For some reason, Siri thought that was addressing her. Take your time with it. The game never stops giving. If it takes you 8 years to beat it, and you play it once a week, and you think you're getting all you need out of it, the thing I just warn against is once you start feeling that you're grinding up against the boundaries of the game and you're like getting frustrated about it, step away. Because I burnt out on it that way the first time, and I only came back to it after Zach and Doug, actually first Doug and then Zach told me about their daily ritual that they had before the daily had even been implemented. And then I waited till the daily was implemented, and that's what got me into the game, right? Actually, I turn down the game audio a little bit. That's what got me back in. Otherwise, I think I would have never played the game again. So yeah, take your time with this game. It is a game you can play in parallel to everything else you do in life. If it becomes like a little small ritual, I think that's the best way to play it. That's obviously my personal opinion, but that's how it's worked for me. And then you two over time can annoy your partners with buying plastic toys that only you love. And Totoro mugs that you then over time slowly get them to buy into. Because, yeah. More in the future. Ix says Goose Game on Switch during level transitions. So, Ix, I gotta get one of those, oh my god, I'm tired. I'm blanking on it. The devices. That fantastic device that allows you to plug in a console. Like right now, I haven't set any of that up yet, so I can't really plug in a console. But rest assured, going forward, I'm going to do that so that I can play things like this. Right? This is my analog Super NT, which is, I know that there are cheaper versions to play SNES emulation, but this thing is a very, very beautifully designed device, and I definitely want to be able to hook that up so I can show you how bad I am at Donkey Kong Quest 2 or something like that, right? Or it's Diddy's Conquest, right? I think. Which when I watch people speedrun it, I always think this game is super easy, and then I play it myself and I die all the time because it turns out it's super hard. And I'm not going to step on Patrick Klepek's space, but like I'd love to play a little bit more of Mario Maker 2 because I think that game is fantastic. So you can literally ask me any kind of game that you feel would like make for a good stream where I will probably share with you all my design thoughts about the game as I play through the game. Capture card purchase is a gateway to becoming a degenerate speedrunner. I'm totally fine with that, Ix. I feel like I've gone down. I feel like I'm not at the edge of that rabbit hole anymore. I think I've firmly stepped into that rabbit hole at this point. El Gato, that's what I was looking for, right? The only question I'd have for you, Ix, if you're still around, is whether I should get a capture card or just like that external device, because it looks like the external device is perfectly fine. But if you tell me capture card is the way to go, I'll probably go with a capture card. For a computer scientist, or maybe that's a trait of us, I'm notoriously... I hate having to open my computer. Like, I don't want to ever deal with computers ever again as long as I live, which kind of makes me sound like my dad. Although he had to deal with computers in a time when the disk drives were like as the size of like giant disk platters that you needed like a weightlifting degree to lift out. Oh wow, now I'm getting raided by Tic Tac Foe. Sorry everyone. Thanks for raiding. But we're literally on the verge of wrapping up. I just beat the daily. 10 more score runs. No, I don't think I have that in me anymore. I have a newborn who needs my attention, and my wife is already extremely, extremely nice to let me do this stuff. TTF knows more than I do about capture cards, I believe. Papa Neat says, congrats, thank you. It was again, this will go up on VOD on Twitch, obviously on our channel. I'll archive it to YouTube later. It was a good run. It was a really fun run. Papa Ness, exactly 4 weeks old to the day. Yeah, we're in like weirdo sleep and sleep not mode, so it's pretty wild, but super rewarding, and gives me a lot of reasons to be home a lot, so I can actually pull this stuff off, right? Like I can steal away an hour or two to do like a stream on a Friday morning. I do teach 2 days a week where I have to be in the university, so those days I can't make it, but we'll see how the scheduling goes forward. Congrats to both of you, Rider of Phoenix. Thank you. Papa Nest first. Yes, it is my first. It is my first, and it is entirely and utterly overwhelming and extremely rewarding all at the same time, because I'm at an age and stage in life where I did not think that this was still going to happen, and here we go. Right here we go, and it's fantastic because. Yeah, the dude's stupidly cute, and I'm constantly asking my wife whether that's just a function of nature, and all babies are cute to their parents, or if he's actually stupidly cute, or if all babies are cute. No one's prepared enough. You'll be great. Thank you. I'm having a great time doing it up to now, but again, it's a team effort, and I'm sitting here right now, so I'm going to wrap it up for now, and say I'll see you all again here next Friday at 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. Eastern. Send any questions into the Twitter account, especially if there's a specific game that you'd like to see me play. Tic-Tac-Fo says, thanks for the stream. Excited for the next podcast. Yep, Tic-Tac-Fo, if you weren't on because I saw you raid later, it's Frank Lance. We're recording Sunday. Any questions you have would be really appreciated if you submit them before we record Sunday evening Pacific. What's the podcast link? I will let you know where it is. It is Libsyn Spelunky Show Like. I'm just grabbing it right now, and I will paste it into the chat right there. That's where you can find the podcast links for all different sources, right? Oh yeah, it's in the I even made that info section. I could have known that it's in the info section on the Twitch account. So yeah, that's where you can grab it on, everywhere pretty much at this point. Yeah, I repeat this often. This is 2 orders of magnitude more rewarding and fun than I ever expected it to be. And if I had known that sooner, I would have done this earlier, but it's never too late. So with that, thanks all for watching. I will sign off right now and see you all next week. Cheers.